I was going through my screenshots and I realized I have quite a few that have to do with meconium. If you don't know what that is, meconium is like a baby's first bowel movement. Obviously, it's different than actual feces because the baby's not ingesting things like food. If a baby passes meconium while still in utero, it's super dangerous because essentially they're breathing it in. It can block their airways, get into their lungs. It's just not a good time. There's varying levels of danger there, but it's usually just not a good thing. Anyway, I'm going to go through these meconium posts because why not? I kept the Reddit information on this screenshot because a lot of people in my comments are asking me what Reddit group I'm from, and there it is, Shit Mom Groups say. This Facebook group is called Unassisted Pregnancy and Childbirth No Assistance Talk. No assistance talk. If you want actual medical advice, get the fuck out. Help, my water broke 39+1, and there's meconium like green soup. What do I do? What do I do? Here's some of the helpful advice given to this mother. This frantic mother. It's okay. Baby just had a BM. Just make sure to clear baby's mouth and wipe the face. You can use a bulb suction. Just remember mouth before nostrils. Good luck. I had to lightly suction baby with my mouth to help clear gunk out. That's gross. I wonder what ended up happening in this situation. Let's find out. Oh, baby's in the NICU. She had to be resuscitated. It was really scary. They're cooling her to see if there's any damage to her organs. I had an emergency section because her heart rate was in the 40s. Really crazy experience. Then I hemorrhaged postpartum and lost 1/3 of my blood. Look, this woman is very, very lucky that she decided to go get medical attention when she needed it. Because God knows the group wasn't going to tell her to go. They're cooling the baby's organs, which means things went bad fast. I don't know what ended up happening to this baby. I don't know what the outcome was. What I do know, and what's illustrating my point in this whole account, is these groups rely on echo chambers and no real medical advice. I am so thankful that this mother went to the hospital. These groups are dangerous, and I think that as we fall further in this country into things like conspiracy theories, QAnon beliefs, anti-vax movements, free birthing, things are just going to get worse and worse. That poor baby. I thought I would do one more post before I go to bed. This is another Meconium post, and the backstory here is that the mother went 43 weeks and had to go to the hospital because her labor was difficult and her son aspirated on Meconium. You can pause to read the screenshots. I'll give a brief rundown of each one. When they arrived at the hospital, they separated the mother and the child. He went to the NICU. She went to L&D. Once he was stable, she got to see him 6 hours later. His official weight, even at the advanced 43 weeks, was 5 pounds, 7 ounces. He had aspirated on Meconium. They had him heavily sedated on fentanyl. They were assessing him for possible brain damage and letting her know that once he was home, he would have to be kept inside in order to be safe from diseases such as COVID. She's pumping for him. She's not allowed to hold him, which is devastating. I totally understand. I would be devastated if I couldn't hold my child. She's never been so scared in her life. They're releasing her today, and she's happy because she needs her other kids severely. I thought the language she used here was interesting because I can understand needing your other kids. Like, oh, I need them near me to make sure they're safe. But usually you say, my kids need me, not I need my kids. And it just struck me. I'm not really judging her one way or the other. I just thought it was an interesting way to say it. They weren't able to tell me what the cause of all this was. They said it could have been the hard labor, with him being almost 43 weeks. My placenta could not have been as viable. Or it could have been something we knew nothing about. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that if you were involved in medical care, you would know these things. I had a deteriorating placenta for my first child, and I had to be induced early because of it. That's what doctors are for, to tell you these things, to not let you go to 43 weeks. She does not regret her choice to home birth. I hate the green screen. I often wonder if these parents do regret their choices and are too ashamed to admit it or embarrassed, or if they truly don't, and I'm not really even sure which one is better. This mother goes on to update and say that he's transferred to a hospital that's better suited for his breathing needs. He actually ended up on an ECMO machine. Those are usually used for like advanced COVID, that kind of breathing. He's on 3 different blood pressure meds, paralytic, morphine, and fentanyl. A lot of parents go this route with their free and wild births to avoid medical interventions, and now this child is on this many drugs plus a breathing machine. I just realized I only have 10 seconds left. I'm actually going to make a part 2 even though I didn't want to. Okay, I couldn't fit the whole story in one 3-minute video, which I'm upset about, but that's okay. This is part 2 about a mother who went 43 weeks in her pregnancy, had the baby at home, the baby aspirated on his meconium. She ended up in the NICU. He's being assessed for brain damage. He's on an ECMO machine. He's on several drugs. Blood pressure, fentanyl, morphine, a paralytic. This is the part of her update that upsets me most. This mother asks for resources in order to find extended stay near the hospital where her son is being held. Obviously, that's a financial burden, so I don't blame her for that. However, the Ronald McDonald House is unable to help because unfortunately I was reported to CPS again for home birthing, and they can't accept families with open cases investigations. It's unclear to me if she means she was again reported to CPS for an additional home birthing, like she was reported to CPS for home birthing before and now there's another home birth, or if she has an active CPS case and now a new one because of the home birth, like 2 separate things. I'm truly wondering how many free and wild births happen due to CPS investigations. Not so much the fear of them, because I do know the fear of CPS runs rampant in these groups, probably because they're steeped in medical neglect left and right. But I'm wondering how many people decide to go the free and wild birth route because they're avoiding CPS, because they're doing something that would warrant the presence of CPS. And trust me, I know CPS is not a perfect or even great system. My extended family has a personal experience with CPS that I think is really shady. But that's neither here nor there. This woman already had an active CPS case. I would love to know how many people go the free and wild birth route because they're avoiding something. I don't know the outcome of this baby. I don't know if he lived. I don't know if he has brain damage. I don't know if CPS intervened. I don't know.